Hi, it's Donna from the library, and welcome back to this week's edition of Behind the Book Book Talks, the series where I talk to you about a book that I've just currently finished or I'm currently reading that I think that you may enjoy for yourself. This week's book is The Truth According to Us by Annie Barrrows. Annie Barrrows may be best known for her children's book series, Ivy and Bean. They were written in the early 2000s, well after the time that I'd be reading children's books, so I have not picked up one to try it yet, but it's a highly popular series with young kids. It's about two friends, Ivy and Bean, who get into all kinds of adventures, and I think kids just really enjoy reading about them. She's also the co-author of the Guernsey Literary Potato Peel Pie Society. She co-wrote this with, I believe it's her aunt. And this book is done in a series of letters back and forth. It takes place just after World War II. It's just a lovely story. I really enjoy it. I've read it a couple of times. Not recently, though I think I might have to pick it up and read it again. This book, The Truth According to Us, I believe is her first adult book that she has written by herself. And it is the story of the Romaine family who live in Macedonia, Tennessee. The book takes place in the late 1930s. And Macedonia is just getting ready to celebrate its 125th birthday. And there is a woman who is a senator's daughter, Layla Beck, and her dad had kind of arranged in a marriage for her. She wanted nothing to do with that and kind of refused him. So he cut her off financially and told her that she needed to find something to do for herself. And through her uncle, she gets hooked up with the Federal Writers Project, which is part of the WPA, and she gets sent to Macedonia, West Virginia, to write this history of the town. She ends up staying with this family, the Romaine family, and it's Felix, Jody, May and Minerva, who are twins, and Emmett, 5 adults that live in this house, and 2 children, Willa and Bertie, who are Felix's children. Felix is divorced. The Romaine family in years past their dad was the president of the American hosiery mill in town. And something happened at the mill. There was a fire, something else happened, I'm not going to get into it. The family was kind of cast out of the mill, and there's just a little bit of a mystery running through the town. There are very diverse opinions about the family and what happened. And so they live in this house. Felix and Jody live there full time. May and Minerva, the twins, are both married but can't stand to be separated from their family. So they stay with Jody in the house during the week, and then they go home to their husbands at their respective homes on the weekends. Felix, you're not really sure what he does. He says he sells chemicals. You might think he's a bootlegger. It's kind of during Prohibition, so there's a lot of that going on. But he's in and out of the house, and Jody's responsible for raising the kids. So this book, which is 490 pages, it took me a couple of weeks to get through it, but it was well worth the time and effort. It kind of looks at the relationships of the families. It looks at the relationship of the family members with the town and the mill. It gives you hints about the event of the past that has resulted in the way they are living and the way they are perceived in town. And it's kind of mostly told through the eyes of Willa, who is 12, and her relationship with her dad and aunts and uncle, and with Layla Beck, who is writing the history. Willa's got a very unique voice, and it's kind of fun to have her telling the story. Also throughout the book, kind of like the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Society, there are letters back and forth from Layla to her family and Layla to her friends that kind of build the story as you're going through. So there's a lot of interesting parts of the book. Like I said, it's a very long book, but it's kind of a perfect summer read. You can have some time and you're sitting outside in a lawn chair. The characters are very well developed. Some of them you like more than others. I'll leave it at that. because she's writing the history of this town, you meet a lot of the townspeople who have very unique stories that are being written into the history. And the people who are sponsoring the project are looking for a certain tone to the history, which is not what they're getting, because Layla and Jottie has spent a lot of time talking to people who lived the history. So it's kind of a fun book. Like I said, long but fun. So I hope you check it out. It's The Truth According to Us by Annie Barrrows. And before I close this edition of Behind the Book Book Talks, I just wanted to remind you that we are doing summer reading for adults and teens and kids. The summer reading for adults is either bingo, where you get a raffle ticket for completing each square, which means you can get a raffle ticket for taking a nap even, or you can get a raffle ticket for each book that you read if you just want to keep track of the books that you're reading this summer. And there is an online component at Read Squared, which is made available to us by the State Library through the CARES Act. You can find all the details about that on our website, ingleslibrary.com. You can also download a copy of the bingo game card in the back if you'd like to, if you don't feel like stopping into the library. So the library is open. You're welcome to stop in anytime. If you're not comfortable coming in, please let us know. We'll be happy to put books out on the tables for curbside delivery. And we hope to see you soon at the library. Hope you're having a great summer. Take good care. Bye-bye.